past couple of years have been huge for handheld gamers. I think we saw a big drought from big manufacturers, so smaller and new manufacturers decided to jump in and try to fill in the gaps. This year, we saw some big players enter back into the handheld space. We were eating really good in 2025. But not all of these handhelds were good. There were some that were really weird, some that made very questionable design choices, a lot that I didn't even get because they just looked bad and unappealing. So this list is only going to include handhelds that I've actually tried, but I'm pretty confident that if I hadn't tried it, there's a reason that I hadn't tried it, and it wouldn't have made it on this list anyway. If you know me, you might be surprised by one or two of the handhelds here, but honestly, you could probably see where I'm going with this list. If you're new here, hi, I'm Bob. I have IBD. And I like video game hardware. I enjoy finding new ways to play games more than I enjoy actually playing the games. I gravitate pretty heavily towards handhelds because they're kind of the most interesting to me. And there's such a wide variety of them these days. I've got a handheld for every occasion. These days, when I think about playing a game, I immediately think about how I want to play it too. I love the versatility of handhelds.
Being able to go places and have all of my games with me.
Oh, no, I don't have the Wi-Fi.
Hey over there. You guys got the Wi-Fi? Hello? You're not answering me? Hello? Hey guys. Hey, I'm just over here waiting for my room. I'm Bob Wulff, by the way. What's your last name and also your room number? Help. This video is sponsored by Surfshark. VPNs can protect you in public spaces. They can encrypt your data so that nobody on the network can see what you're doing. Even when you're at home, your ISP can't even see what you're doing. VPNs like Surfshark can also change your location so that you can access content that might otherwise be blocked in your country. Surfshark One gets you their VPN, private web search, data leak alerts, and their antivirus, which is also helpful for protecting you against vulnerabilities. You guys like a mother-daughter situation? Are you guys business partners? Are you here on business? Do you come here a lot? And if you do, what room do you usually stay in? What's the room number? Hey, is the attached hula hands any good here? It's never good. There's no risk to trying Surfshark, and they offer a free 30-day money-back guarantee. So go to surfshark.com/den and use code DEN for an extra 4 months of Surfshark VPN. Oh, wait, Hula Hands is public Wi-Fi, and I have Surfshark, so I don't give a about public Wi-Fi. So really, you guys like a mother-daughter situation? Sorry. Cherish it.
All right, we've wasted enough time here. Let's get right to number 5. And this one's going to be a little bit of a spicy one. It's the Retroid Pocket 5. This technically came out last year, but I don't think I even got mine shipped to me till early January. I sure as hell didn't review it until this year. Retroid has had a few releases this year, but really nothing all that notable. They have the Retroid Pocket 6 releasing early next year, I think in January. But even after all of this time, I'm still playing my Retroid Pocket 5. It's quite possibly the best budget Android handheld still to this day. If you want something for emulation that is powerful enough to play GameCube and even a decent amount of Switch emulation, this is still the easiest to recommend because it comes in at a much lower price point than other similarly powerful handhelds. Ever since the launch of Game Native and Game Hub, now you can get Steam games on here too. Even after all this time, I opt to play Steam games on the Pocket 5 because I like where the D-pad is. And most of the Steam games that are going to run on here are going to be lower powered 2D games anyway that I'm going to want to play with that D-pad. I'm admittedly a bit of a Retroid hater. I'm a bit overly critical of their products, but that's because I've been burned by them in the past. They frequently have manufacturing issues. To my knowledge, the Pocket 5 didn't have any of the same manufacturing issues that the Pocket 3, the Pocket Mini, and the Pocket Flip had. They did a pretty great job with this hardware. We're getting an update pretty soon with the Pocket 6. It's a bit more money, and I'm not sure how much that extra power is going to help, maybe with Steam games. But my Pocket 5 has been one of my favorites of this year. We got another spicy one for number 4. It seems like people either really liked this one when it launched or really, really hated it. This is the Xbox ROG Ally X. Asus. I missed a word in there. This was a bit divisive when it launched. I think much of the controversy came from this being an official Xbox release. As an Xbox handheld, this thing kind of sucks. It can't play really any Xbox console game. It's only really useful if you have Game Pass. And even then, you're limited to whatever's in the Xbox Game Pass library. And some of those games might not be the same as the Xbox console version. And if they are the same, they may or may not have cross-save with the Xbox console version. So it's very confusing and a little bit limiting if you're an Xbox user. And on top of that, it's $1,000 damn. That's not exactly handheld console pricing. But as a PC handheld, this thing rules pretty hard. It's kind of just the ROG Ally X, which I already like, but with a more powerful chip inside, giving it about a 15 to 20% performance boost over the previous model. It also has these big, stupid grips. It's very comfortable, but I'd rather have the portability, honestly. It's mostly here on this list because of Microsoft's collaboration with Asus. This is the first device that we've seen with the Xbox full screen experience on it. Another thing that was very divisive on Reddit and Twitter. Windows has historically been a horrible UI for handhelds. Navigating vanilla Windows with a controller sucks ass. Xbox aimed to fix this. We now have a device that boots into an Xbox environment, similar to SteamOS. There's no garbage running in the background. You can navigate all of this with the built-in controllers. And when you do finally launch a game, it will just launch the game. All your system resources are directed towards making that game run as best as it can. This is a huge step forward for PC handhelds, and worthy of at least a little bit of praise. I think people dogged on this so much when it launched because it did still feel very much like it was in beta. It was a little bit buggy. It's since been tweaked pretty heavily, and I think it's also been rolled out to more devices, but it is only in the beta version of Windows 11 still. But you can put it on pretty much anything now. It gives me a lot of hope for the future of Windows as a console-like ecosystem. And that's going to be something that Xbox is going to be focusing pretty hard on as their actual console hardware continues to fall into obscurity. Number 3 is one of the 2 Lenovo devices that released this year, and it's not the powerful one, it's the Lenovo Legion Go S. This makes it a tad bit higher on the list than the Xbox ROG Ally X because SteamOS, officially being released on a device that isn't a Steam Deck, is kind of a huge deal. And SteamOS is way, way better for these types of devices than Windows. Compatibility might not be there 100%, but most of the games work fine on SteamOS. And the ones that do work better most of the time than on Windows. Not to mention a more console-like experience, a great sleep-wake feature, something that is essential for a handheld console. It is the only device that is officially being sold with SteamOS on it besides the Steam Deck. It is also the only device that is officially supported by SteamOS besides the Steam Deck. There are other devices that are only beta supported. They're not officially supported yet. The Lenovo Legion Go S first released with a Windows version, and even that was special for its beautiful 8-inch 1200p LCD screen, which the Steam version has as well. It's been my example for how nice regular old LCD screens can look on devices. It's also one of the most comfortable handhelds. It's got some back bumps, but it's not too big and unwieldy. It's kind of the perfect shape for this size of handheld. It had a little bit of a troubled release. The price adjusted slightly a lot, and it came in and out of stock very rapidly, and it just kind of dropped out of nowhere too. It was also delayed even if you already pre-ordered it. Lenovo had a lot of issues this year. You might notice in some of the B-roll, there's a white one that I'm showing and the gray one. The gray one is the official SteamOS version. The white one is one that came with Windows, but I also just put SteamOS on it. So they're basically the same thing. The Lenovo Legion Go S is decently powerful too. The Z1 Extreme version can come in a 32GB configuration. Pair that with SteamOS, and you've got a pretty beefy device. It was my go-to for a decent amount of the year. My biggest issue is still the terrible Lenovo fan. it's still so very loud. The number 2 best handheld of the year is probably number 1 for a lot of people. It is certainly the best retro handheld of the year. It's definitely the best Android handheld of the year. It's the best dual screen handheld of the year. It's the Ein Thor. It's also the handheld that I've gotten the most emails about from people begging me to just give them a free one. Why would I give you my Ein Thor? Why would I do that? I think some people will be surprised this isn't number 1. It's definitely deserving of some high praise. The Ein Thor is a really powerful Android handheld, which means yes, it can emulate GameCube and Switch games, but it can also now play Steam games if you try hard enough. And it can play them very, very well. Its dual screen nature means you can even multitask while playing these high-powered games. It also means it can do some pretty perfect 3DS emulation. But the best feature of having a dual screen like this is closing it for travel. It is so easy to take this thing with me. Having something this small and portable that can play Steam games from my actual Steam library with cloud saves has been such a game changer. And sure, it's got all my retro games on here too, and they all play great too. This is such a great all-around Android handheld. I've been taking it with me on short little trips to play Ball X-Pit or whatever. Ein has been crushing it lately, and they definitely knocked it out of the park with this one. Before we get to number 1, I gotta give you some honorable mentions because there's a bunch of great stuff that came out this year, and they probably deserve a reason as to why they're not on this list and at least a little bit of recognition. And yeah, I'm gonna stretch the video out a little more. The Lenovo Legion Go 2 came very close to making it on this list. The Z2 Extreme chip and the extra RAM makes this insanely powerful. The giant OLED screen gives this the most beautiful screen in any PC handheld, and it's not even close. The fan is improved. It's still not the best fan, but it's better. The detachable controllers are still a huge bonus for me. This is probably my favorite PC handheld, but the thing that kept it off this list was the price. $1,350 is such a gut punch. It's so hard to recommend this. You can save hundreds of dollars by getting a handheld that is basically just as good. It just doesn't pass for me, I'm sorry. This is one that I only made a YouTube short of, so I don't have much B-roll of it and I don't have one anymore. But it's the Game Bub. It's an open source FPGA Game Boy Advance. That means if you're savvy enough, you can just go to their GitHub and make your own FPGA Game Boy Advance. FPGA is now no longer locked behind analog or mod retro. It's open and free for everybody. If you want a Game Bub for yourself, it'll cost you a pretty penny, but the exciting part about this project isn't the product, it's the potential. I'd also like to shout out Game Hub and Game Native. They're not handhelds, but they're apps that allow us to play Steam games on our Android handhelds. This opened the floodgates for handheld gaming. Android devices just became so much more viable. Having my Steam library on a small console like this makes me reach for my Android devices so much more now. I think people who know this channel very well or don't know this channel at all will not be surprised by the number 1 pick. I think if you only kind of know this channel, you might be a little bit surprised. This number 1 is gonna be the Nintendo Switch 2. Also, make sure you're subscribed. Thank you. This is the best handheld that is out right now, and it's not even close. I know a lot of purists are gonna be upset that they are locked into Nintendo's ecosystem. Yes, this is a major downside. Most people, though, don't want to fart around with putting their ROM library on a device or figuring out how to get their Steam games on here or dealing with Windows. Yuck! Most people are totally fine being locked into a console ecosystem. I don't even buy multi-platform games on here. I really only buy Nintendo games on here. And even still, with just those games, this is still the best handheld of the year. When you let go of the fear of being locked into an ecosystem, you're welcomed into a device that just boots up, ready to play whatever you have. And then those games just boot up ready to go. No configuration necessary. To some, this is what consoles are all about. But really, it's my handheld of the year because of how sleek it is. every time I pick it up, I'm reminded how thin and portable and efficient this thing is. It's very powerful for its size. It can go toe-to-toe with some of the best PC handhelds out there. And look at how much thinner it is than all of them. Nintendo makes some of the best games out there, and seeing them in 4K or close to it with high frame rates has been the jump into the future that we've so desperately been begging for. Most of the reason that I've gravitated towards these PC handhelds and these Android handhelds and these retro handhelds is because the Nintendo Switch 1 was just getting so stale. Everything was so ugly on it. It was so underpowered and underwhelming. Now, Nintendo is finally joining us in the modern era. And this architecture is very similar to PC architecture, so when games get optimized for this hardware, you can bet your ass they'll also be optimized for PC handhelds too. I'm not even all that jazzed about other Switch 2 features like the dockability, the motion controls, or even the mouse mode. These are all cool things to have, but it's not what makes this handheld of the year. Hell, I think the dock is a little dumb. Why is it proprietary? It's USB-C. Just let me use whatever dock I want. This is the best designed handheld, bar none. It is built like a tank. It's built to last. I've dropped this thing more times than I can count, more times than I'd like to admit. If I dropped my Steam Deck like I dropped this thing, the screen would have popped out by now. I even shell swapped this thing and then dropped it on camera after the fact. And it's not any worse off than it was on day one. I have a lot of criticisms of Nintendo and this Switch 2. But there is a reason why Nintendo is the #1 handheld manufacturer. They're the ones everybody thinks of when they think of handheld gaming. And it's because they make the best hardware for the largest audience. They're kind of the easy and convenient option. And sometimes, actually a lot of the time, easy and convenient is all that I want. I don't always want to drive a Lambo to Starbucks. Sometimes I just want to take the Corolla.
Do you know where the cup holders are, James?
No.
So what do you guys think about the best handhelds of 2025? I'm sure you're going to have a lot of thoughts and opinions that differ from mine. Leave it in the comments below. I mean, on Twitter, and all this other social media garbage. I usually do a dishonorable mentions too, but this year there weren't really any that I tried that were like that terrible. So congratulations, everybody. You made good stuff. But also, I've been avoiding a lot of the really bad stuff. I got a lot of things to make videos on, and I'm not going to waste my time with a dud. I'm sorry. Come to the podcast sometime. We do it right here, youtube.com/WolfDenPodcast. These are all of the people who support that podcast. Hey, make sure you're subscribed here, please. Thank you very much. Most important thing you can do to support us is just subscribe. It's free. Just click the button. And share this video with a friend who is maybe looking for a handheld, or maybe looking for justification that the handheld they bought is one of the best. Thank you very much. Have yourself a very good week.